Dude, my amp doesn't chug the way I want it to. How am I supposed to write chuggy, awesome riffs when my amp doesn't chug the way I want it to, bro? Yeah, dude, I just can't shred on this amp. It's not shreddy enough. It's got weak shreds, bro. Dude, I know you guys are waiting on this song, but I can't write it because my chugs are weak.
Oh my god, how am I supposed to write a song when my cleans don't have enough sparkle?
I want sick chugs, bro.
I need more sparkle, damn it. Just more.
Dude, when I plugged into that amp last week, I shredded a lot better. This one sucks. It's not chuggy enough.
I even fart sparkles. I call them farkles.
What the hell with the weak chugs, bro? Better amp would sustain better. Piece of crap.
I mean, I want my cleans to be so clean that they're actual queens.
This amp doesn't sweep pick very well. It's not sweepy enough. I want sick chugs, bro.
Nope, still not enough sparkle.
Sure how flat that was? If I played with a better amp, my notes wouldn't be flat. They'd be like right on pitch, bro.
Super duper sparkly sparks.
Stupid amp.
More sparkle.
If I only had a better amp.
Sparkle!
This thing's stupid. Did you hear the chord trigonomic separation of the notes there that didn't exist because I didn't play through the right gear? It's the gear's fault. I don't suck. The gear does.
Well, we've all either said it or heard it over the years, haven't we? Guilty. I used to think that I needed to have this, magical piece of gear when I was younger in order to achieve some sort of greatness when playing guitar, or writing my songs, or I just needed that mojo, or I needed that certain magical tone, or that pedal, or that effect, so that I could start being able to write the kind of music I wanted to write, And after a while, I realized that it's all bullshit. I mean, the most important piece of gear that you have is you. I mean, there's so many people out there who have written some amazing stuff on the shittiest gear available, and it's because that's all they had. And the difference between them and other people who make excuses is they have the passion. They have this deep passion inside of them to, no matter what the odds are, I'm going to become a great guitar player, I'm going to become a great writer, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. And really, that's what it takes. It takes dedication, really, but it has to be fueled by passion. So I think that as long as you stay dedicated and you're passionate about what you do, you don't need that magical piece of gear. And allow me to let you in on a little secret. No matter how much money you spend on gear and how much money your amps or your pedals or your guitars cost, none of them are going to make you a better player. Not one of them are. Dedication and passion are going to make you a better player, and those things alone. I mean, you could be a shitty player and plug into the most expensive amp out there, and you're still going to be a shitty player. And really all you need is a good piece of gear that you can actually practice with, that's convenient. It sounds good enough for you to be able to do the things that you need to do. And it has the functionality. In other words, like maybe a metronome or maybe Bluetooth, so that you can hook your backing tracks up to it and practice and write to those. And like I said, it just has to be functional enough for you to do that. Portability, affordability, all those things come in mind. And that's why I've been using the Spark for the last, I think it's been 3 years, maybe 2.5, whatever. Last few years, I've been using the Spark, and I've written a lot of solos on mine. And I'll tell you, it's really helped me a lot. Now, this is not a commercial for the Spark. I'm not being paid for this. I'm just giving you my real life experience with this product. And if this works for you, great. If you hate it and you want to get something else, that's great too. It doesn't affect me in any way. So do what's best for you. But all that being said, I mean, it really does work really well for me. I mean, I have a built-in metronome with the app, so I can practice my sweeps and whatever else I want to practice. It's got a looper, the new one does. It's got a looper, so if I get stuck on a chord, and I do this all the time, like, oh, there's a chord change here, and I want to do a long run that, you know, I can play over the whole, both chords, or even one chord. And I don't know theory for shit, so with the looper, I can actually do that. I can actually loop a chord and play until my heart's content and drive myself nuts and find the right notes for it. And a lot of times I run into some pretty cool runs because of it, because I have to you know, experiment a lot, and I run into some cool shit. So I just think that with the Bluetooth functionality, with the, you know, as far as the backing tracks goes, and the metronome, which I used to never practice to a metronome because it was such a pain in the ass. How do you balance the sound of that with your amp in the room and all that kind of stuff? Where with the metronome and the Spark, it's just very easy to program. You just turn it on, dial up whatever you want, and then adjust the volume accordingly and go. And it's so simple. And just with those features alone, and the fact that it's portable, it's affordable, it sounds good. It definitely sounds good enough to practice with, and it's inspiring to write through. It has the effects that I need, and you know, I mean, it does the job for me, and I play it out on my deck. I play it in my living room. Well, obviously, I play it down here in my studio. You know, a lot of people would think like, oh, look at all these amps down here, and you know, you probably write all kinds of stuff down here. Honestly, I don't. I write most of my stuff on the Spark, and not to take anything away from these amps, but it's just very convenient for me to plug into the Spark and write all my stuff with it. And in a minute here, I'll play one of the songs that I've written on it. And I'm actually working on some new solos as well. And I'll be playing those on the channel very soon. But this thing has really helped me a lot. I mean, a lot. Because of this, I've probably practiced 10 times more than I used to. So whether it's the Spark or another type of product for you, just find what works best for you, and just practice and use that passion inside of you to dedicate yourself to practicing more and getting better. Now, I have a challenge for you, and I'm going to challenge myself as well. In the comments section, why don't you tell me what you've been struggling with on guitar and how you're going to fix it, what you're going to do about it. I'll tell you what I've been struggling with. I mean, as far as this summer is concerned, I worked so much that I literally took 3.5 months off of guitar. I played once a week on Sundays on my live show, and that was it. And basically what you guys watched was me literally warming up and practicing live, because that's all I did for the week because I was too tired to practice. So I let a lot of things slip throughout the summer, and because of that, I got to get back in shape, you know, on guitar. So one of the things that I got away from was practicing with a metronome and practicing my sweep picking. There was a time when I was recording my album, I got really, you know, tight with it, and then I kind of slowly, you know, walked away from it because, you know, you get up and other things happen. You know, you have your coffee practice time like I do, and I just kind of rushed through my sweep picking practice with a metronome, and after a while I just quit doing it. So I want to get back to that. So that's a challenge I'm going to give to myself, and I'm going to keep myself accountable on the channel here, and maybe from time to time I'll give you some updates on it, and most likely, or hopefully, the goal is you'll hear the difference in my playing when I do my mixes and stuff, whether it's live or on the, you know, recorded videos like this one. But I am definitely going to work very hard to you know, get my sweep picking tightened up again, because I suck at down picking on the sweeps. Up is okay, down is terrible, and I want to fix that. And here's the thing too, you don't have to spend like 2 hours every day with the metronome sweep picking or whatever it is that you're working on. Just do it for 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day, it's not overwhelming. Everybody's got 20 minutes they can dedicate towards that. Whether you do any other practicing or not, at least get that in, and it'll definitely help you. That's how I'm gonna do it, and I can guarantee you this, it's not overwhelming, and there's no excuses to not get it in every day. So I'm going to do it starting today. All right, enough with all of that. So now I'm going to perform one of my many songs and many solos that I've written on the Spark for you guys. And this song's called Hoverboard Blues. And I'm going to have to get this done in one take because I got to get to the gym. It's kind of why I look like an idiot right now. I'm going to the gym after the video. So hope you enjoy it. And I hope I don't screw anything up. Here we go. So now I'm going to read and respond to comments for you, and I have some bike footage for you. Instead of looking at my dumbass sitting in a chair, I figured I'd give you guys some hopefully cool bike footage. All right, this first comment is from Harley Man. So perfect timing with all of the Spark talk in your videos last week and with this live stream. You have always spoke highly of these units. With all of this, now the Spark 2 becomes available. So I have been trying to decide if I should wait and spend the extra money on the Spark 2. Thing is, the market is flooded with the original Spark for some pretty good deals. I have been splitting hairs on the differences. Thanks for all of your input. I'm getting closer to making a decision. For my use, leaning towards the original, time will tell. Well, thanks for commenting, Harley Man. I hope you enjoy whichever Spark that you end up getting, and I think you would. The thing is the main difference between the two, other than a small sonic difference on the new one, the Spark 2 has a little less boominess to it, but whatever, is you're going to get you know, the direct outs on the back, which do come in handy if you want to run into a mixer or whatever, but if you're just going to use it in your bedroom for practicing and whatnot, I don't think that's going to really do much for you. And you do get a looper, which I think might come in handy depending on what you want to use the Spark for. So that's one of the big differences right there, is you do get the looper on it, and the drum tracks you can loop in there as well. So it's kind of cool, and yeah, if you want those extra features, it's definitely worth the extra money. Otherwise, just get the Spark 1, save your money, and run some backing tracks through it, or just play without any backing tracks. Whatever works for you, but depending on your use case, either one would work for you. It just depends on what you are looking for yourself. Okay, so there's two comments here I want to read, and one is a response to the other. So Jeff Hirschberg says, I have the Spark Go. I have yet to encounter a bad Spark product. And this other guy, JMac3541, says, I hear people say this, then I go to GC and there is 6 full pages of used Spark 40s that they can't give away. Funny how we start smelling rats on YouTube when the new Spark products get launched. Well, here's the thing, dude. Well, first of all, thanks, Jeff Hirschberg, for commenting. I appreciate that. And to this other guy, this JMac9541 or whatever, you know, I didn't get paid for this video. I did it just for you guys. I did it for my viewers, and that's the only reason why I did it, because I personally like the unit. It's done a lot for me. It's helped me practice more and elevate my game on guitar, and it's made me a better guitar player because it's so easy to use and convenient, and it sounds great for what I need it for. And I've written a lot of stuff on it, so I'm just sharing something that legitimately works for me with my audience, and that's what my channel's all about. Again, I did not get paid for it. My friend Paul Smith brought it over and allowed me to have it for a few days so I could do reviews of it for you guys. So thanks to him, I was able to do it, but I did it on my own time at no no value to me. I don't get anything out of it. It's you guys do. I get nothing out of it except for some clicks and views, which pay me very little. So, for you to come on here and say that I'm a rat or something like that because I'm doing this, I mean, even guys that get paid for it, they deserve the money because they're taking time out of their day to put up a professional video about something. So, let's see you make a video on YouTube and let's see how much work it takes for you to do it. And then at that point, you'll have an understanding of why we should get paid for what we do. So again, to be clear, I did not get paid 1 cent to do that video. I did it on my own time and at my own expense. Okay, this next comment is on my Kali Audio LP8 V2 video I did a while back. And this is from Don's Projects 7. And he says, I am very glad you made this video. After fighting an HX stomp for 2 months, I traded it and 3 pedals for my brand new Helix floor. I bought the Kali Audio's IN8 V2s on July 5th, 2024. You would not believe how many Helix guys tried to tell me I still had to buy FRFR speakers. I will try my Kalis out next week when my wife will be out of town so I don't get scolded for loud guitar sounds. Thanks very much. I love my Kali IN8 V2s. You're welcome, man. And don't listen to people who say you have to get an FRFR cab. When those first came out and they were a thing, I used to be a big believer in those things, but then I found out that there's nothing full range or flat response about any FRFR cabs that I've seen so far. They all sound way different from each other, and they all have their pluses and minuses. And I guess the same could be said slightly with, studio monitors, but they are way more accurate for the most part. I mean, there's exceptions. I mean, if you buy cheap junk, I mean, they're going to sound like cheap junk. But for the most part, studio monitors, especially the Kalis, I use them all the time. I have 3 sets of them. I have a set in my living room, and I have 2 sets down here in my studio. And man, they're freaking amazing. And I trust everything that I hear through them. And every time I do a mix or play a live stream or do a video like I'm doing right now, I know that the tones I'm getting through them are amazing because they translate well over everything. My car stereo, my earbuds, my home theater system, my TV speakers, everything. Everything sounds good, so I can trust them. So if you're dialing in tones on any digital product, get a good pair of studio monitors because they're going to sound way better and way more accurate than any FRFR cabinet. The closest FRFR cab I've ever heard to a real guitar sound is probably the Fender. The one that they came out recently with. That actually sounds pretty damn good, but I still prefer studio monitors because you get a more reliable sound out of those. And the stereo separation's amazing. I mean, all your ping pong delays and stuff sound way better on those. So anytime you're playing a digital product and you're playing at home, just get a good pair of studio monitors. They'll sound way better and you'll enjoy them a lot more. All right, this next comment is from AL1991, and this is on that video I did about the Randy Rhoads pedal that was released and how everybody's scalping and buying them for cheap and selling them for way too much money on Reverb and stuff like that. And he says, bro, you are throwing a tantrum over a pedal. That's free economy. Can't afford it, move on. Well, I wasn't throwing a tantrum. I don't want the pedal. I couldn't care less about, having another pedal on my pedal board. I mean, the thing's a freaking aircraft carrier full of pedals as it is. I was just doing a public service announcement for my audience because I think this is bullshit what people are doing. And like the thumbnail says, what a dick move. I mean, go to a store, buy 7 of them, and crank the price way up and sell them to people who legit want them because they're fans of Randy Rhoads and they really want to play that pedal and see what it sounds like. And you got some asshole that's going to go and buy a bunch of them and try to make a profit off of them and sell them to people who are true fans. I think that's bullshit. I think it's really sad. Now, I don't have a problem with profit. I mean, that's how people make a living, but there's people like that who abuse the whole profit system, and they're dickheads, and I don't like people who do that. So again, it wasn't me throwing a tantrum. I couldn't care less if I ever played through the pedal or owned it. No disrespect to the pedal or Randy Rhoads or whatever. It's just not something that I want. All right, this next comment is from Megan OK 7673. I think that's how it's pronounced. He said, "Hey man, nice to see you're slowing some parts of your solos down. I firmly believe playing slower, more fluent solos is often harder than full-on shredding because it's very noticeable when you hit a bum note. Great stuff." Well, thanks for commenting. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you enjoyed my playing on whichever solo I was playing. I forgot to see which video that was on, but anyways, yeah, I try to do a mix of all kinds of things when I'm playing, you know. I mean, I try to have some what I think are kind of cool runs and, you know, maybe some, you know, you build up some energy here and there, but I like to string all that together with some melodic lines as well. And in fact, I should flip-flop what I just said. I love to have some really melodic lines and string them together with some energy that you can create by doing some fast runs and stuff like that. And I feel like if you have a good balance of all that, you have a great solo. And I always try to keep a lot of balance to that. Again, I'm glad you like the solos that I play. I really appreciate that, and I'm working on some new stuff right now, and I'm definitely keeping the balance in those as well. I mean, I think it's really important to keep things balanced because, you know, after a while, if everything's just a big shred fest, it just all blends in and sounds the same, and it gets boring, you know. And I've been to concerts like that, and after a couple songs, seeing a guy shred his ass off, I'm like, dude, I've seen everything I need to see. He's not really saying anything. It's like, you know, it's like word salad on the guitar. It's just a bunch of notes that are in key and played very well, but there's really nothing there other than speed. And I think that you need to say something with your guitar and with your music. And if you're not saying anything and you're just talking like an auctioneer on your guitar, it just, after a while, it's like, I can't understand what's going on here. Even as a guitar player who's impressed with that type of playing, I get bored pretty quick with it, and I don't want to listen to it anymore. Okay, this next one is on my IK Multimedia ToneX unbiased review video I did a long time ago, and this is from Stashman FPW. He says, "Hey Jarrod, it's been a long time, brother, probably a couple of years. Anyhow, glad to see how the channel is grown. I have to add one more thing to the video, which was great, by the way. Not everyone can afford a quad cortex. You have to keep those folks in mind. They're looking for an inexpensive way to capture their tones. Other than that, spot on, brother. I'm glad to see that you're moving forward and can't believe it's taking this long for you to pop up in my feeds." Well, I've heard that too, man. I've heard that that a lot of people are missing my notifications and stuff. I don't know what's going on with YouTube's notifications, but it's kind of pissing me off because people are missing out on live streams and stuff. They're like, "Oh man, I didn't get a notification." I don't know why YouTube's screwing that up, but hopefully they'll fix it. But anyways, yeah, I'm glad you liked the video, and some people misunderstood the whole intro to that video. I wasn't making fun of ToneX. I was making fun of all the YouTubers that were just fawning over it. And I was doing it in a lighthearted way, though. I wasn't ragging on them. It was just kind of funny how I got up that day, and it was like, holy shit. So many people are like freaking leg humping this thing like it's the second coming or something. It was crazy. But it's that's all it was. I was just kind of making fun of you know, all of that. But yeah, I think it's a great product, and you're right. I mean, it's not everybody can afford a quad cortex or a Kemper, and the ToneX is very affordable, and the tones you get with it are really good. So I totally love the product and think there's a big place for it in the market, and I think it's going to do well. Okay, so we got a Boost Karen. Yay, I love Boost Karen. So this is from PFR 2024, and this is on my PV 6505 1992 versus EVH Iconic video I did a while back. He says, "I don't know how we judge an amp on its own merits by adding an OD pedal. A guitar plugged straight into the amp is all that's needed for a clear and subjective comparison." Wow, man, thanks so much for coming by here and being a little whiny bitch Boost Karen. I always love you freaking idiots. Look, dude, if you want to compare an amp the way that you want to compare them, then you put in the time and effort and do it your way. Last I checked, I don't work for you. You haven't paid me. I don't get any payment from you at all. So again, I don't work for you. So I'm not going to do what you're telling me to do unless you pay me a hell of a lot of money. What a dick. And another thing, I always, when I'm shooting out amps or demoing amps, I do it with and without a boost pedal so that you can hear it both ways. If I do it without a boost pedal, you know what I'm going to hear? Well, I want to see how it takes a boost. Okay, so that's why I do it both ways. But there's always jackasses who want to come in here and tell me how to do my job that they didn't pay me for, by the way, and they always want to tell me how to do it the way they would do it. Well, start your own freaking channel and do it your way, okay? And then you're going to get the comments about, hey, how does it take a boost? You know, and then you're going to be like, oh, I guess I got to hit it with a boost now so that I can answer people's questions, because they want to hear it, not hear your opinion. They want to hear the amp's opinion on how it takes a boost. So that's why I do it both ways. But it never fails. Every time I do a video with an amp and I use a boost pedal, even if I do it with and without the boost pedal, I always get a whiny ass, bitch ass boost Karen that has to say something stupid like that. So you guys are freaking idiots, and you know, it doesn't really piss me off. It's annoying, but you guys are just freaking stupid. So if you're one of those players who doesn't require one because you're 3-chord Johnny, well, good for you. But for the rest of us who like to shred and play challenging stuff, boost pedals definitely tighten up the amp so it responds better to our playing. But maybe someday when you become a better guitar player, you'll understand. And I know that sounds really snarky, and I went out of my way to make sure that it did. All right, this next comment is from Luke Turner, DG5ZI, and this is on my Mr. Scary modded Marshall JCM 800 video. He said, hey man, why don't you finish the Dokken tune you play on every video? You have the first part right, then botch the second part of it. If you're going to play it, then complete the riff. It's irritating hearing you play it wrong over and over again. Well, first of all, I'm not here to play everything absolutely perfect. This isn't Ben Eller's channel where everything's done perfectly and I'm teaching people how to play. I'm just playing familiar riffs through gear so that you can hear familiar riffs through it, so you can judge for yourself whether or not you like the gear. And a lot of times I just write my own refrain to a riff so I don't have to play the whole song and refrain it the way they did. I'm just trying to play a portion of the song and come on up with my own way to end the riff so that it refrains easily and I can get back out of it. And that's all it is. I'm not playing it incorrectly. I rewrote parts so that I can have my own refrain to it. That's all it is. And like I said to a guy previously in this video, I don't work for you. You're not paying me, so why are you coming on here freaking complaining about how I'm playing something? But hey, you're welcome to start your own channel and show me how it's done. I bet you won't. You know, it's funny how there's so many people who have accomplished nothing in their life want to bitch at people who are out there killing it and working hard every day trying to do something good for themselves and good for their community. And it's always the freaking guys that have nothing to contribute to society that just sit back and bitch about how everybody else is doing things while they sit on their ass. Oh, and here's another comment from the same jackass, Luke Turner, DG5ZI. Dude, and this is on my PRS MT15, did the hype die video. He said, dude, the reason why people don't want to pedal in front of the amp is because they want to hear how good the distortion is just from the amp. Not everyone uses pedals. Also, if you're going to dial in an amp, turn the mids back and the bass up and the treble up. Well, dude, let me just tell you something right now. Mark Tremonti uses a freaking boost pedal, so why don't you go bitch at him about why one of the greatest guitar players on the planet uses a boost pedal, okay, dumbass? Secondly, I always do amps with and without the pedal so you can hear it both ways. That way people who like to hear pedals with the amp can hear that and hear how the amp responds to the pedal. And people that don't like pedals, they can hear what it sounds like without the pedal. I serve both parties when I do that, but you want to come in here and bitch about how I do things, even though you're not in my Patreon, you don't pay me anything. So why don't you just sit down, shut up, and enjoy the content, and if it doesn't work for you, go find a channel that does work for you, or start your own. But I bet you won't start your own because you're too busy bitching about everybody else and the way they do things. This must be National Boost Karen Week. I mean, the Boost Karens are out in full force this week. You know, it's kind of funny though. Like I said, these comments don't really piss me off. They're just like annoying gnats that fly around you, you know. Bunch of bitchy little crybabies. All right, this next comment is from MMA Junkie XX, and I don't know what video this is from, but maybe I'll find out in the comment. He said, thanks for making this video. Great playing. I am going to be buying the Fender Tone Master Pro because it seems to be the easiest one to use. Well, there it is. It's on my Fender ToneMaster Pro video. All right. Otherwise, I would probably buy the FM9, but it seems pretty difficult. I have a question for you. If you were only going to be playing this thing in your jam room, no gigging and no recording, just for your own pleasure, going by which sounds best, regardless of the cost, would you use a tube power amp into regular amp cabinet or something like an FR Headrush 112 or a PA system, etc.? You are surrounded by these great amplifiers, so I really value your opinion on tone. Thanks. Well, I appreciate the compliments, and I'm glad that you enjoyed the video. And congrats on finding the right product that works for you. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, the ToneMaster Pro is very easy to use, and I think you're going to love it. You know, the interface is awesome, and you can get some great tones out of it. What I would recommend if you're just playing in your room just for jamming and stuff, just get a pair of studio monitors. I suggest the Kali Audio ones. Just look them up. I mean, they're awesome. They're very affordable, and they sound amazing. So I would get the Kali Audio studio monitors, and you'll get an awesome stereo separation with them. And I think they're going to do really well for you. And you can literally trust the tones that you're getting out of them. They will translate well everywhere you go. Let me know what you get and how it works out for you. Looking forward to hearing back from you. Okay, this next comment is John Finley 4963, and he said, I heard you say you replaced the EL34s with 6L6s in your Badlander. How did that change the tone? Love your content, Jarrod. Changing from the EL34s to the 6L6s didn't change it immensely. There's a slight change there. But if you really want to change the Badlander, there's two major things that you can do. If you want to fill it up more and add a really good boost pedal to it, get the odd box. It keeps it really full and doesn't cut too much low end out of it because that amp lacks a little bit of fullness. So that pedal will add some back in. And the other thing I would recommend is the Mr. Scary mod. You know, that thing, you put it in the V2 tube position in that amp, and it really makes that amp wake up. It's full, more gain, the feel is way better, but it retains the tone of the amplifier and the integrity of the tone, and it just sounds killer. So that's what I would recommend for that amp if you really want to make a big difference in its tone and gain structure, is add the Mr. Scary mod, and you'll never want to take that thing back out. So the two best things you could do for that amp is get the Mr. Scary mod and add the odd box pedal to it, and that amp's going to be a freaking fire breather. Okay, this last comment is from Jason Nicely, and this is on my Mr. Scary mod, Make Your Badlander a Fire-Breathing Amp, or whatever the title was on that. It was the one where I put the Mr. Scary mod in my Badlander and turned that thing into a fire breather. If you had to get one of the two, would you choose the modded Badlander over the EVH Stealth as far as brutality goes? Well, that's actually a really good question. So I'm going to shoot them out for you right now. Again, the Badlander does have the Mr. Scary mod in it, and the overdrive pedal is off. I'm going to shoot it both ways, like I always do, Boost Karens. So I'm going to shoot it out both ways with the pedal off first, then I'll engage the pedal, and I'll be using the odd box for this shootout. And I'm using the crush mode on the Badlander, and I'm using the red channel on the EVH Stealth 100. So let's go ahead and hear the difference between them now, and you can make your own assessment. And I tell you, they are close. I mean, it's just a difference in voicing. I think they're both very brutal, and in this particular shootout, they both responded really well without the overdrive. And I can see how a lot of people would not use an overdrive with both of these amps, especially with the Badlander having the Mr. Scary mod in it. It just really makes that amp sound and feel way better. Without the boost still, I'm going to do a quick little stupid lead riff between them so you can hear that. Well, the stealth was a little more sculpted, and I could probably add some low end and maybe some resonance to it or whatever, but it's definitely more sculpted than the Badlander now that the Badlander has the mod in it. And again, I could probably, fill it up by doing some other things, but a little more sculpted, but I think they both sounded and felt great when I played them without a boost. So let's go ahead and engage the boost now and do the same shootout and just, see how they fare with that. Okay, so with the pedal on, I could definitely tell with the Stealth red channel, it's a little raspier, so if you like that, then go for that, I think they're both great, it's a tough choice between them. All I can tell you is with the Stealth, you can have, the blue channel and the red channel, you can dial them in however you want. And with the Badlander, you can have the Crush and Crunch channels and switch between those two if you want. And I think that it would benefit from the mod either way. So it's almost a coin toss at this point. I think Brutality, they're pretty much almost equal. The Stealth might have a little more edge because it's got that raspy kind of bite to it on the red channel, but some people like that, some people don't. You can tame it a little bit by adjusting the blue channel gain while you're on the red channel. That's the Easter egg in it, so you can adjust that out a little bit. Yeah, I just think they're both great. It just depends on which voicing and what features you like better. So I hope this little demonstration helped you out. Well, guys, I got to get to the gym, so I have to hurry up and edit and upload this video before I go. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks to all the comments that I got. I really appreciate you guys for commenting. And obviously, I can't respond to every single comment on my channel in these videos, but I mean, the ones that I pick out, a lot of times I just do it at random, or I'll pick something that's of interest to me, but or I think it's of interest to other people. So, but keep commenting. If you want to see your comment in one of my upcoming videos, feel free to ask me questions or comment here, and I will screenshot those and save them for the next riffs and responses video. Now my phone's ringing, and I gotta, it's a busy day here at Tone Wars. Anyways, well, thanks so much for watching, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who's been purchasing my Quad Cortex, ToneX, and KEMPER preset and profile packs on my website. That's linked below. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. To all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you guys so much. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and make sure you click that bell so that you don't miss out on future live streams or videos. Well, I got a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.